Hey, welcome back to the Superhero Show. Now, after lots of rumours and speculation, it's finally been confirmed that Ryan Coogler will direct the standalone Black Panther movie.
Which is awesome.
This is awesome. And today we're going to discuss about why we're looking forward to seeing more of that character and how will impact the MCU. But first, Ryan Coogler. Now, we thought it was going to be him for quite some time, but it's nice to see it actually signed off and official.
Yeah, director of Fruitvale Station and Creed, which came out in the States last year. We're just getting this week in the UK, and we both seen it and loved it.
It's such a good movie.
And it makes him seem like a great choice for it. It's a blockbuster with brains and heart and
lots of heart. You know, Rocky movies are emotional anyway, and he really knows just how to wring all the emotion, to press your buttons. You know, it's a manipulative film in the best possible way. When he uses little bursts of music or little flashes from old movies, really, he got all the goosebumps.
And the fight scenes are really dynamic and well shot. The one-shot scene is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it took them 14 takes or something, but imagining like an action sequence done in a single take, something like that would be really exciting.
Yeah.
And this week I actually got to speak to Ryan because he was in the UK promoting Creed. So I asked him about, you know, his thoughts on getting the movie and Chadwick Boseman playing Black Panther, and also asked his stars Michael B. Jordan and Tessa Thompson what they thought about him getting the movie and what he'll bring to the Marvel Universe. So this is what they had to say.
Oh, it's exciting, man. It's so exciting. I think you know, even more so than it being a Marvel movie is that, you know, it's a very it's a story that has a lot of meaning and significance, you know, to me, just as a, you know, as a filmmaker, as an artist, and as a film fan. You know, it's really exciting to be able to do something that's this unique, I would say.
I'm excited for him. I mean, I think obviously in Creed, he's able to prove that he can take a really iconic franchise and still make a film that feels like a Ryan Coogler film, that feels unique to him, and that he can infuse it with something that matters to him and have it feel like it has heart. I have no doubt that he can do that in the context of any franchise. I think they're lucky to have him.
No, I'm a big comic book guy, and I think Black Panther's a character so interesting. T'Challa's amazing. Chadwick Boseman's a really incredible actor, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do together.
I think with Chadwick, they got it right, man. Haven't had a chance to meet him and watch his work. You know, I wasn't involved in picking him, but I think that they definitely, you know, knocked that out of the park. You know, and he seems to only take projects that he really cares about. You know what I mean? And thinks about real hard, like really significant stories and characters.
Marvel films is so larger than life. It's kind of cool, I think, to get a grounded superhero version of that. You know, of course, with all the larger than life elements that Marvel will be Marvel, especially with the Black Panther being involved with, like, you know, the Civil War, with, you know what I'm saying, Captain America and that whole kind of thing. So I mean, I don't know that much about it, but there's so much real estate to play with, and I'm pretty sure we'll find a nice way to tie it all together.
Cool, so that's what they had to say. Lots of interesting things in there. I think it was really interesting, Ryan talking about how much it means to him personally and artistically and as a filmmaker. Like, obviously that character has a lot of significance to him. He mentioned to me when we were off camera about how he grew up reading the comics and that was his favourite character. So I think that, you know, you get a sense that he wouldn't be doing it if his heart wasn't in it.
Yeah. Because like he's at that point in his career now with Creed being a big hit, he could choose several different paths to walk down. He's chosen to do this one as well. And I think it's a lot of these directors choosing these movies, great, because they grew up reading this source material, but also, you know, it's all likelihood it's going to be a huge hit. That allows him then to do whatever he wants elsewhere in his career, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I think this is the position, actually. I mean, he's at that time, I think, but off the back of Creed, he can probably do whatever he wants right now. So it's interesting he's picked that. I think he'll probably do Creed 2 first, but it's interesting that he's picked that rather than do something more serious like another Fruitvale. But I think it's also interesting what his sort of cast members say about the fact that he's going to he'll make it grounded, because let's be honest, Wakanda's a pretty crazy notion, isn't it?
Yeah. It's almost like futuristic. Like a super advanced nation, one of the most advanced nations on planet Earth. You know, we've seen Tony Stark's New York and Tony Stark's LA, but you know, to this country, if they realise it like in the comics, it's going to look semi-futuristic. Mm-hmm. How do you do that in a very grounded way?
Well, that's the challenge,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, obviously Michael says he thinks he can do it, and Tessa talks about, you know, him having his, you know, he wouldn't do it if his heart wasn't in it. So anyway, I think he's a good choice. But let's talk about the film itself. Like,
Yeah. So, as they add more and more characters, what you're looking for, I think, to keep Marvel Cinematic Universe fresh, is characters that are going to bring something different. We know this year we're going to get Doctor Strange, and Kevin Feige's talked greatly about how that's going to usher in this kind of supernatural realm into the Marvel Universe. And I think Black Panther similarly transforms the Marvel Universe in some really interesting ways. Marvel Universe films in recent years have been a bit more globe-trotting. We know Civil War is going to be jumping around Europe. We know there's some scenes in Germany. But this isn't going to be globetrotting. It's going to hopefully completely set within a different country.
Yeah.
It's not using it as a backdrop for one action set piece. It's not going to Seoul just to appeal to the Korean market. It's going to be set in Africa. And I think that's cool that we're going to have maybe an entire Marvel movie set in a different country.
But in Civil War, he's going to be a fully formed character, I guess. So do you think we'll get his origin story? Will there be flashbacks? I hope so, because it's such an interesting origin.
So there is a theory I have about his backstory, but we'll save that for feedback this week because it ties in neatly to a fan theory we've had sent in as well.
What we will get either way is some really awesome weapons.
Yeah.
That's something I'm excited for.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan was talking about how smart Chadwick Boseman is, who's playing Black Panther, and Black Panther's a genius.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really interesting to see maybe someone that's smarter than Tony Stark.
Well, one of my favourite scenes in the first Avengers is when you see Tony Stark and Bruce Banner get together, and they start having a conversation no one else can join into, and they've had that and that kind of relationship continued on into Age of Ultron, them being very cliquey, and ultimately that's what created Ultron. Is their kind of little bromance. Having a third person who can be their equal on that side of stuff, and also be physically superior to either of them as well. Like, without the Iron Man suit and him not being Hulk, you could probably take them both down as well.
Yeah. And T'Challa has, he's got a PhD in physics from Oxford University. So I hope that's quite a lengthy sequence of him just studying. Just taking exams.
Reading.
And things like that.
Yeah.
Another thing I really hope they use is his sense of smell.
Yeah.
You know, he's got an incredible sense of smell. And I want to see that on screen.
A master chef. He's a smellier.
I want to see that sequence.
Yeah.
But you're right, I think in terms of his physical prowess, you know, his gymnastics and this and that he could do, I really am excited to see that kind of in the jungles of Wakanda.
You see very briefly in the Civil War trailer, you know, obviously brand new character, people are going to latch on to it anyway, but he appears like 3 times in the trailer, and one of them he's like doing this really cool like kick where he's like throwing both feet at the same time at Winter Soldier, and the other bit where he's outrunning Captain America. And obviously Winter Soldier establishes this thing where on your left, like Captain America is very fast. There's someone even faster than him, and it's pretty awesome, that scene. I also think, you know, if you look at Creed, it's a film with a lot of heart and a lot of emotion, story of fathers and sons, and I really hope, you know, that's what they follow and, you know, really like kind of pursue in Black Panther. You know, part of his origin story is the death of his father, and I think based on what I've seen from Ryan Coogler's work, that's a story he can tell, and tell in a really emotionally affecting way. And I think we'll get some setup in Civil War for that stuff.
Have we got any feedback on that front?
We do, Chris.
Good timing. Robert Mather wrote in and said, I have a theory about T'Chaka. I have a theory that T'Chaka was assassinated by the Winter Soldier, and until Cap 2, Bucky had been under since he killed T'Chaka. Now that he's resurfaced, T'Challa will finally have a chance to avenge his father's death. What do you guys think? And that's from Rob from St. Louis.
So I agree, but with some small caveats. So I did the Rewind Theatre for the Civil War trailer when it came out, and I kind of proposed this theory. There's a scene where you see the UN being blown up.
Yep.
And my theory is that T'Chaka's gone there, he's the representative, or he's there visiting the UN on behalf of Wakanda. And there is an explosion, which I think Hydra, or some other nefarious group, have made it look like it's Bucky, that it's the Winter Soldier, to basically initiate the events of Civil War. So that in that scene, T'Chaka dies, and that's why Black Panther gets involved, because his father was, you know, politically assassinated. And Black Panther will think it's Winter Soldier or Bucky. But that will be disproved during the course of the film, so they can actually fight side by side.
I like it. And how's the film going to end?
Just with massive Paul Rudd.
Massive Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think finally, this is the interesting element, is the source of his powers. And I'm really unsure how they're going to depict this.
Agreed.
Because there's various ways they do it in the comics, you know, whether it's eating a heart-shaped herb or whether it's summoning a deity. We know Doctor Strange is going to establish the supernatural, and I think you can also kind of read that as spiritual realm. You know, there's a way of looking at some of those monsters and demons he's fighting with that can be, you know, you can perceive it through a spiritual lens. So I wonder whether they'll do this in a similar way, that he's tapping into some kind of, you know, quantum spirit energy field, something like that. So I wonder if in Doctor Strange we might get some clues to how they're going to bring to life Black Panther's powers. So I think they need adaptation.
Yeah, so we might get some clues by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Awesome, can't wait. How long have we got to wait for this one?
Oh no, they pushed it back, didn't they?
2018?
2018 now.
Too long.
Is it? Or 2017? One of them.
I think it's 2018.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be 2017 and it got mucked about. Right.
2 years.
Feedback. So last week we talked about who we're going to cast as Shazam, and we got lots of feedback. superheroShow@IGN.com, and I'm going to go through some of these suggestions with you, Chris, and you tell me what you think of them.
Okay, you're going to put me on the spot.
Okay, so Jaisel from Nottingham. Lots of people who watch the show live in Nottingham. I've
Good
learned
place.
this week.
I used to live in Nottingham.
There you go. Joel Edgerton is one that always stands out for me for these big physique roles because of Warrior. And he also has a bit of a baby face when he's clean shaven, just like Joe Man in Yellow.
So are we saying that Shazam needs to have a baby face? This seems
he's
to be
a man-child.
a recurring
Yeah.
pattern. I really like Joel Edgerton. I'm not seeing him as my Shazam.
I also think Jared Butler could fill the role pretty well. He's someone who can do humour and action.
Yeah, I'm liking Jared a bit more.
Okay, interesting. Micah Brown. In the New 52, Billy Batson retains a young appearance even when transformed. This is especially notable in the Justice League War animated movie. Prior to the New 52, he looks older and hunkier, similar to a traditional design of a Captain America or Superman.
Yep.
So Mike is really saying, like, a lot of these DC movies probably taking a lot of beats and cues from the New 52.
Yeah.
If they go with a newer version, which is more likely, I think John Krasinski, or here's someone else we didn't suggest, Bradley Cooper could be good choices.
Ooh, Bradders. We didn't think of Bradders, did we?
Bradders.
He could be good, yeah.
He's too busy being a failed chef.
Yeah, I'm going to try and speak to John Krasinski to interview him in the next few weeks, so maybe we could get a quote from him.
Start the campaign.
Yeah.
I think that Liam Hemsworth would be great for the role, says Stephen Corsos. Shazam is an adult, yes, but he still looks young and acts young at heart. You don't have to equally be as a big guy to fight against Black Adam.
No, but I don't know. It depends how old Billy Batson is. If Shazam is only like 6-7 years older than Billy Batson, or 10 years older, I feel like it won't have the same impact as if he's a properly man compared to the child, even if he looks like a man-child.
5 years older.
Yeah,
I've just skipped puberty.
I'm not a big Liam Hemsworth fan either.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jacob, in regards to casting Shazam, my 13-year-old brother had a suggestion a few months ago that I thought was crazy at first, but has since grown on me. Jason Sudeikis. I've not heard anyone else suggest him, but I think he's got the right look, the right sense of humour, and he could really pull off the childish side of Shazam that makes the character stand out. Just stick him in the gym for a few months.
I think if they were going to go down a really comedic route, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, but also, it's worth flagging, like, he's right about the body. Anyone can be transformed for these movies.
Agreed.
Chris Pratt is testament to that.
Agreed.
They can make it happen.
And he'd make a good counter to Dwayne Johnson as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I might save that one for last.
Okay.
This is an amazing name. My name is Huggy Bovington.
No, it's not.
From Garden City in Hertfordshire. Huggy Bovington. That's a 70s name.
Can you tell us more about the name Huggy, where that came from?
Yeah, Huggy Bovington. I only read his email out there. I won't do that, but it's quite a good one. And now, though, I'm quite sure that this may not be an option, but I think Shazam could be played by Alan Ritchson, who isn't a stranger to the superhero universe, as in the TV show Smallville as Aquaman, but I feel he would be a strong actor to rival The Rock's Adam.
I'm a bit indifferent to him. He does play Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well.
Does he?
Yeah. He's just another square-jawed, all-American dude. But hey, I don't know.
Final email from Palestine.
Wow.
All the way from Palestine. It's Sammy from Palestine. His favourite is Gerard Butler again.
Okay, Jerry.
So there's, a bit of support for Jerry. The second is, and you'll like this one, Shaquille O'Neal. I would prefer Butler. You can. But Shaq has more experience in playing characters named Shazam.
That's true.
100% more. And let's not forget, he's outstanding.
Okay,
I don't think it's a wholly serious email, but...
Yeah, but have you seen the Shaq O'Neal Shazam? No. That guy should not be put in front of a camera acting ever again in his life. Gerard Butler as well, he's doing publicity soon for London Has Fallen, so maybe we can ask him.
Is our new thing just to ask everyone, can you play Shazam?
The one that we didn't, who's the one we didn't talk about though, that straight afterwards came up in conversation and it was like, that is my Shazam.
What did we say?
John Hamm.
Oh, yeah.
I think John Hamm would be really, really good if they don't consider him too old. He's probably about the same age as Dwayne Johnson. I just, as you know, I still wish he was playing Batman.
Also, what's good about John Hamm is any of that kind of really great Alex Ross DC art where he paints the heroes like they were 1950s icons. He just looks like that.
Yeah.
For so long we talked about it would be amazing if they made a 1950s, like almost like Mad Men's set style Superman. He'd be perfect for that.
And he's really funny as well. If you watch Bridesmaids or any of the stuff he's done on TV that's not Mad Men, he's got a really wicked sense of humour. So he's my pick.
I'm going to do my last bit of feedback before yours because I know what that is. This is from Jordan from New Zealand. Now that we've seen Marvel tackle the heist movie, the spy movie and the sci-fi movie, do you think it's time they gave us a superhero rom-com? I would call mine Dr. Love and centre it around Victor Von Doom trying to win over his college love interest while having to put up with his crazy Irish roommate.
That sounds a bit odd, so you could call it Dr. Strangelove. What?
Or he falls in love with Doctor Strange. Both a medical school together. He's studying evil medicine.
Now, has there been a romantic?
I think the Ant-Man sequel could be close.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
There was my super ex-girlfriend. Not so good. I hate the bits in Superman. There's the bit in Superman when he goes flying with Lois Lane. And she says, "Can you read my mind?"
Do that for a whole movie. Do you not like when he makes the souffle with his heat vision? He's making it rise. Do you not like that bit? Maybe not for a whole movie, but
maybe Nicholas Sparks needs to write a book about the superhero romance. Then it will be made and make loads of money.
Good shout.
Final email from Tom Forsyth. Hi Dan, my mum has the same cardigan as you. Bye. Good.
Where do you think I got it from? Anyway, if you want to write into the Superhero Show, you can email us anytime at
superheroshow@ign.com.
And cool, until next week, for everything on superheroes, Marvel, DC and all the rest, stay right here on IGN.
Sorry, Tom.
Sorry.